Hot take of the day, WALL-E is one of the most fatphobic movies I've ever seen. Because the movie's entire premise hinges on the fact that the worst thing to come out of capitalism is that it made us all fat. They make this out to be a dystopia. But all of these people are fed and clothed. They interact with their friends on a daily basis. There's no need for menial labor or exploitation. There isn't any implication that there's any kind of systemic inequality in this world either. And even though they explain that the reason why people have put on weight is because their bone density has lessened without gravity, they're still depicted as like gluttons who can't stop drinking big gulps.
Before I start, I just wanted to thank you for more than 300 subscribers. I'm honestly speechless and so grateful for each and every one of you. I'll try to meet your expectations, and I hope that you come along for the ride. Anyway, let's just get into the video now.
What a beautiful day. A beautiful day to remember that diet culture and the thin ideal are rooted in racism and patriarchy. So the next time you feel bad about your body and you think maybe the solution is to try to lose some weight, ask yourself, who profits off of me feeling this way? Because it's a white man. And since when? Since when? Since when? Since when? Do you give white men your money, your attention, your time, your respect? Well, the answer is simple, darling, you don't. You never have and you never will. Why start now?
I am amazed at how people always talk about how diet culture is profiting off of people losing weight, but never mention fast food, or just other unhealthy food industries. Guess what? Big fast food chains are also owned by old white men, so by your logic, you are still giving your hard-earned money to them. I can't believe how much the anti-diet culture movement focuses on the diet industry without acknowledging the other. And you can lose weight for yourself, and you can do it without signing up for some ridiculous overpriced diets. There are so many resources on YouTube, blogs, Instagram, and other places on the internet. Though I do agree on a little with the racism and patriarchy part of the debate. There are so many standards set above the clouds for how women should look compared to the low standards for men. The standards that can be noticed not only on the dietary side of things, but also on aging, overall appearance, and behavior. And Western society can also be extremely discriminatory to many others in terms of food by labeling many foreign foods unhealthy and even gross. These are really important topics that need more attention, but I don't think they need to be linked with diet culture, fat acceptance, and all the other campaigns. I feel like when those creators mention the very real problems in our society, it is mostly to validate their own struggles and insecurities. Here is a comment that I found about this issue. I think they can overlap in some aspects, however, fatphobia does not equal racism. I think white people just want something just as equally fucked up as racism to stand up for, and it's not fatphobia. Like you said, when people think of fat, race doesn't come to mind, but concepts like health do. Anybody can be fat, and I think them TikTokers are just reaching for the stars.
Alright, let's have you step up on the scale.
Actually, I would like to decline being weighed today.
No. Must have BMI.
If the doctor concludes that weighing me is medically necessary in order to prescribe medication, you can do so once my appointment has concluded and the appropriate treatment type has already been established. Otherwise, I do not consent to being weighed today.
Okay.
And if the doctor does conclude that weighing me is medically necessary, I would also like to request that my weight be communicated by number on my chart and not by BMI or weight class, and I would prefer that that number not be communicated to me in any way over the course of my visit, and that includes on my end of appointment paperwork. If your doctor specifically asks why you've made these requests, simply say this. I found that focusing on weight is more detrimental to my health and I'm no longer weighing myself. I'd like to continue this approach in the doctor's office as we focus on health independent of weight.
There can be genuine reasons why someone might have problems with being weighted and knowing their weight, But most of the time when you are weighted by a doctor, it is to give you the most accurate and safe medical care, and not judge or discriminate against a patient. There are a lot of cases where accurate weight is required. An accurate assessment can monitor the extent of loss in organ function, judge the effectiveness of medications, and enable calculations of medical dosages. Not being weighted can therefore be life-threatening. For example, not knowing a person's weight can make it unsafe to have surgery, as the anesthesiologist can't know exactly how much sedate they need to give to the patient.
Yeah, hi, come on in. Hi, doctor. So I have this eye infection. Yeah, I could definitely give you some Oh, hi. So I have this eye infection. It's really been bothering me. Have you tried losing weight for my eye? Yeah, so actually here on your chart, your BMI, it says you're obese. So have you tried losing weight? No, like I've been fat my whole life. I just have an eye infection. It started like 4 days ago. So I have a whole bunch of weight loss pamphlets for you. No, my eye just really hurts. See, it appears I can't hear you because your BMI says you're obese. See, my eye, I just need some eye drops or some antibiotics. You said, see, weight loss. Weight loss is the answer. I can't see. And I don't like looking at you, so lose some weight.
Medical bias definitely exists, but I don't think there has ever been a doctor who didn't let the patient complete a sentence about their eye problem and then blamed it on their weight. In many cases such as knee pain, back pain, one's weight plays a big factor, and the doctor will therefore mention it because it is relevant. To be honest, I don't think that this conversation really happened, because what medical professional would do that? I feel like this is the point of view that many of the people in this community have, where medical professionals are these evil human beings who want to blame every problem in a fat person's life on their weight and BMI, but that is just not true. Videos like this one show just how trapped food can make you. You eat because you don't feel good, gain weight, then feel bad and eat again. It's a vicious cycle that many of the fat acceptance creators don't want to talk about or even acknowledge. Emotional eating and using food as a coping mechanism can sometimes be positive, but in most ways, it makes you more miserable by the end of it. Emotional eating is eating as a way to suppress or soothe negative emotions, such as stress, anger, fear, boredom, sadness, and loneliness. Major life events, or, more commonly, the hassles of daily life, can trigger negative emotions that lead to emotional eating and disrupt your weight loss efforts. And as with anything else related to your mind, it is really hard to change, but with enough support, knowledge, and mental power, you can do it.
Hot take of the day, WALL-E is one of the most fatphobic movies I've ever seen. Because the movie's entire premise hinges on the fact that the worst thing to come out of capitalism is that it made us all fat. They make this out to be a dystopia. But all of these people are fed and clothed. They interact with their friends on a daily basis. There's no need for menial labor or exploitation. There isn't any implication that there's any kind of systemic inequality in this world either. And even though they explain that the reason why people have put on weight is because their bone density has lessened without gravity, they're still depicted as gluttons who can't stop drinking big gulps. The only other reason the movie condemns capitalism is because it destroyed Earth. And frankly, I think that's enough. I think saying, Mega Walmart over here destroyed the planet and humans deserve a planet to call home is enough without adding on this we better save the planet so that we don't get fat bullshit. At the end of the day, I think this movie just relies on stereotypes about fatness as a metaphor for human greed as a whole. And in addition to being fatphobic, I find it very lazy.
I'm speechless. Through the movie WALL-E, we see the critique of consumerism, which almost by definition is a capitalist phenomenon. It has many other important themes, but I'm just gonna talk about this one since the creator is kind of stuck on it. The constant fat phobia mindset seems to actually delude the mind, because I have never seen someone interpret a media piece so wrongly. Just because someone is clothed, has food and friends doesn't mean that they are living a healthy, fulfilling lifestyle, especially if we talk about the people featured in the movie. To me, they often seem lifeless robots just doing the most comfortable thing, which is basically nothing. How can you say that this is all right? I saw someone say this in the comments. I firmly believe that people who think WALL-E is a fat-phobic movie are in denial and want to be upset because the predatory fast food companies have them wrapped around their fingers. How is it not a dystopian depiction when it's a huge deal when the humans can stand again, implying that they were big enough that they were immobile? Is there anything else to say? Maybe to learn movie literacy? And we're back at it again. Working equals fat phobia? Working on yourself for your own benefit is now somehow the same as having a prejudice against fat people. Most of the time, people do it for themselves, and even if it's for the aesthetic, who cares? As long as someone isn't forcing you to do the same thing just for the sake of it, leave them alone. I guarantee that most people that feel offended about other people working out have nothing better to do in their life. It is the same as saying that walking, talking, and I don't know what else is ableist because some people can't do it. And for the end, here is a really nice video.
And when I come back, I'm gonna be a baddie.
She's back.